Does it feel like your loan repayments and monthly bills are taking over your life? With Cathedral Credit Union's debt consolidation loan, you can combine multiple debts into one convenient monthly payment, making it easier to manage your finances and reduce stress. Borrow up to $150,000 with repayment periods of up to 7 years, giving you the flexibility to take control of your financial future. One loan, one payment, less stress. Because financial peace of mind should be simple. Visit Cathedral Credit Union today. Call 868-235-6947 or visit cathedralcutt.com. Cathedral Credit Union. Member owned, member focused.
This Emancipation Day, we invite you to experience history, not through books, but through people, performance, and storytelling. From chains to celebration, on August 1st, experience the grand finale of the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. The journey begins at James Park from 5 p.m. as we parade through the streets of Scarborough, culminating at the Milford Road Esplanade. Be part of the journey. Join us for the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026 Emancipation Day Parade.
Which was held in Nambo, Kiara Bailey is Miss Tobago Heritage Personality 2026. And Tobago's Akim Stewart bags bronze. Good evening, Tobago. I'm Natalie Singh. Thank you for joining us here on Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM. To our top story now, 2 men are in police custody following a suspected sea turtle poaching incident at Lambo Beach in Tobago. The Department of Natural Resources and Forestry says the men were arrested during a wildlife enforcement operation around 9 a.m. yesterday, Thursday, July 30th. Officers reportedly discovered what is believed to be the carcass of a sea turtle, along with turtle meat and turtle eggs suspected to have been illegally removed from a nesting site. The suspects were taken to the Shervan police station, where investigations are continuing. The operation involved Game Warden Lauren Craig Roberts, Forester 1 Govinda Ramlogan, Forester 2 Bimal Ramlogan. The Division of Environment, Climate Resilience and Energy is reminding the public that sea turtles are protected under the Conservation of Wildlife Act and are also designated as environmentally sensitive species under the Environmental Management Act. These laws make it an offense to hunt, kill, possess, sell, or unlawfully remove sea turtles or their eggs without authorization. Officials say offenders convicted of offenses involving sea turtles or their eggs may face fines of up to $100,000, imprisonment for up to 2 years, or both. The division is also commending the officers involved in the operation for their vigilance and professionalism, and is urging members of the public to report wildlife crimes to the Department of Natural Resources and Forestry or the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service as efforts continue to protect Tobago's vulnerable marine wildlife. Beginning tomorrow, all new beneficiaries approved for government social welfare grants receive their payments by direct deposit into their personal bank accounts. The Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Services says that effective August 1, all newly approved recipients of the Senior Citizens Pension, Public Assistance Grant, General Assistance Grant, and Disability Assistance Grant access their benefits through direct deposit rather than by check. The ministry says the move is part of its ongoing effort to modernize social service delivery, improve efficiency of grant payments, and strengthen the security and protection of recipients' benefits. The transition also comes as the government seeks to reduce losses associated with the paper check system. The ministry added, the disbursement of checks has resulted in millions of dollars in losses through fraudulent activity, and officials expect direct deposits to provide a more secure method of payment while reducing opportunities for fraud. The ministry says it remains committed to delivering social services that are accessible, secure, and responsive to the evolving needs of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The Ministry of Finance is defending its decision on the taxation of hybrid and mild hybrid vehicles more than a week after the customs classification was introduced without prior public warning, sparking concern among dealers and consumers. In a media release dated July 31st, Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur says the government has met twice with the Trinidad and Tobago Automotive Dealers Association to address concerns arising from Customs General Order No. 24 of 2026, which was issued on July 22nd. The minister maintains that the classification ruling is correct and consistent with World Customs Organization rules. He says the ruling does not remove the customs duty relief available under Legal Notice 247 of 2024 and that qualifying new and used hybrid vehicles will continue to benefit from those exemptions. He also insists the ministry never advised that the legal notice had been withdrawn or superseded. The release comes after automotive dealers criticized the overnight implementation of the new classification, saying it created uncertainty for importers and buyers. Thakur also rebuked some media outlets and social media commentators, accusing them of publishing unverified information that caused unnecessary anxiety, while urging greater accuracy and fact-checking in public reporting. National Union of Government and Federated Workers, President General Christopher Street, is apologizing to daily rated government workers after promised salary increases failed to materialize by the end of July. He explained the situation in a message posted on the union's Facebook yesterday, noting that it is nothing its union's fault. Street says the union completed negotiations with the chief personnel officer and signed the agreement on March 31st. He says workers had been advised to expect their new rates of pay in July, based on assurances given during the negotiations.
I want to apologize, for I know people would have anticipated that getting this to take care of their school needs and so on. So I want to apologize, right? But we had done all that was necessary as the union to ensure that the payments and the increase in rates would have been done.
According to Street, the Minister of Finance secured parliamentary approval for approximately $280 million to fund the wage increases, insisting that a lack of money is not the reason for the delay. Instead, he blames what he describes as administrative bungling and procedural issues from preventing the new rates from being implemented on schedule.
The issue is not money. Money is not the issue. The Minister of Finance would have fulfilled his obligation in making the cash and the money available. However, due to some administrative bungling and procedural matters, that resulted in the July deadline not being fulfilled. The union would have inquired and we would have been told as to some of the challenges that would have resulted in the current situation that we are in.
Street says the union acted in good faith and expected the agreement to be honored. He acknowledges workers are disappointed, particularly with the back-to-school period approaching when many families are counting on the additional income. The union president says he has been assured the issues are being addressed and remains confident workers will receive their increased wages. He is also calling on payroll staff involved in calculating arrears to cooperate so the process can be completed as quickly as possible. Street says the union will closely monitor implementation of both the new wage rates and arrears payments expected later this year and has promised members weekly updates until the matter is resolved. This is news on Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM. We will be back after these.
This Emancipation Day, we invite you to experience history, not through books, but through people, performance, and storytelling. From chains to celebration, on August 1st, experience the grand finale of the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. The journey begins at James Park from 5 p.m. as we parade through the streets of Scarborough, culminating at the Milford Road Esplanade. Be part of the journey. Join us for the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026 Emancipation Day Parade.
Rand Credit Union.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dreams on a team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed. Which Rand Credit Union you can believe that you can achieve it. Today you can live that dream. Pull up to the job and surround your week with Rand Credit Union. Yes you can, yes you can.
Come in and live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Welcome to the speed round of getting money right. Let's begin. Name some of the red flags associated with an investment scam.
Pressure tactics to invest.
Correct.
Promise of money if you bring friends.
Correct.
Request for personal information.
Correct. Bonus question. What is the penalty for operating a pyramid or Ponzi scheme?
$10 million and 10 years in prison.
Correct. Well done. The scores are even, so we go to our tiebreaker question. You receive money in your account from an investment company, and they tell you to transfer it to a third account. Does that sound right?
I think about it, and that's not right.
Congratulations, you tinker! Getting Money Right is brought to you by the TTSEC. Visit investigatett.com to access free learning resources and check the TTSEC for a list of registered individuals and securities. The Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. You invest, we protect, everyone benefits.
Hey, it's you. Come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes. Total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. All right. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
show for me.
Rand Credit Union.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed. With Rand Credit Union, you can believe that you can achieve it. Today you can live that dream, pull up to the job and some brand new week with Rand Credit Union. Yes, you can, yes, you can.
Come in and live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Welcome to the speed round of getting money right. Let's begin. Name some of the red flags.
News here on Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM. The Airports Authority of Trinidad and Tobago is moving closer to opening the new East Terminal at the A&R Robinson International Airport with the launch of a procurement exercise for custodial maintenance services. A procurement notice issued today invites suppliers pre-qualified with the Office of Procurement Regulations Procurement Depository to bid for a one-year contract to provide nightly custodial maintenance in the restricted areas of the East Terminal. The successful contractor will provide personnel, equipment and cleaning supplies for building and floor cleaning, washroom sanitation and restroom cleaning and disinfection. The tender is being seen as another major milestone in preparations for the commissioning of the long-awaited terminal as the Airports Authority advances operational readiness ahead of its opening. A mandatory pre-bid meeting and site visit will be held on Thursday, August 6th at 10 a.m. with bidders able to attend either in person or virtually. Bids must be submitted by Friday, August 28th at 10 a.m. Meanwhile, the Airports Authority has also invited bids for custodial maintenance services at Piaco International Airport, covering public areas, government and Airports Authority offices, and the Aviation Training Center in Mausika. The pre-bid meeting is on August 18th, with the bids closing on September 18th. Trinidad and Tobago was among just 10 countries that voted against reappointing United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, for a second four-year term. The measure passed with overwhelming support from 144 member states, while 13 countries abstained on July 24th. Turk's new term runs from October 12th, 2026 to October 11th, 2030. Speaking on the vote, former Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amory Brown, has criticized the UNC-led government's decision to vote against the reappointment of United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Turk. Brown said Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sober's explanation, issued 6 days after the July 24th vote, failed to justify what he described as a highly unusual decision. He argued that the government offered no explanation before or immediately after instructing Trinidad and Tobago's diplomats to oppose Turk's reappointment. The former minister dismissed Soper's claim that there was insufficient time for consultations, saying governments routinely communicate with diplomats on short notice and that enough time existed to issue voting instructions. He also rejected the argument that a new UN Secretary General should have influenced the appointment process, noting that 144 member states supported Turk's reappointment, while only 10 voted against and 13 abstained. Brown pointed out that Trinidad and Tobago was among the small group of countries opposing the measure, with no CARICOM nation voting against the appointment. He said the government's recent voting pattern at the United Nations represents a departure from Trinidad and Tobago's long-standing foreign policy positions and raises serious questions about the country's direction on international affairs. Caribbean countries are set to benefit from faster and more precise detection of drug-resistant infections as CAFA expands its laboratory capabilities with the introduction of whole genome sequencing in Trinidad and Tobago. More in this report.
The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CAFA, is strengthening the region's fight against antimicrobial resistance with the introduction of whole genome sequencing technology at its laboratory in Port of Spain. Antimicrobial resistance occurs when bacteria and other pathogens evolve to resist medicines that once killed them, making common infections more difficult and sometimes impossible to treat. Globally, antimicrobial resistance contributes to millions of deaths each year and is considered one of the greatest threats to public health. CAFA says the new technology will significantly improve the Caribbean's ability to detect, monitor, and respond to drug-resistant infections. Unlike traditional laboratory testing, whole genome sequencing analyzes the complete genetic makeup of microorganisms, allowing scientists to identify resistant genes and mutations, trace the source of hospital and community outbreaks, and monitor the spread of dangerous pathogens across borders. Executive Director Dr. Lisa Inga says, the introduction of the technology marks a major advancement in regional healthcare and disease surveillance. CAFA says member states can now submit a laboratory isolates to any of the agency's campuses for whole genome sequencing, improving access to advanced diagnostic services across the Caribbean. CAFA is the regional public health agency for the Caribbean, coordinating disease surveillance, prevention, and public health initiatives across CARICOM member states. Maxwell Taylor, Channel 5 News.
Track and field athlete Akim Stewart says the bronze medal he captured in the men's discus at the 2026 Commonwealth Games on July 29th is dedicated to the memory of his late coach Wade Franklin.
Winning this medal means a lot to me because my late coach, Mr. Wade Franklin, may his soul rest in peace. We had plans of going to the Commonwealth Games and medal. I accomplished that. It wasn't the color of my choice, but due to the Razak point system, things went the other way. But fortunately, I still came home with the medal, and that is a whole big accomplishment for me.
Stewart says the 2026 Commonwealth Games marked his first appearance at the quadrennial event. He credited a grant from the THA Division of Youth Empowerment and Sport received on July 15th with helping him prepare, describing the financial support as arriving just in the nick of time.
The season was going very rough. I only competed in one meet, which was in Jamaica in April, and I've been waiting for my elite funding, and that haven't come true. And THA came through late, but it was in time enough for me to come and get my competition discussed, and I think that gave me an advantage, gave me a good chance at medaling.
Stewart competes as a para-athlete in the shot put, discus, and javelin events. He is one of Trinidad and Tobago's most declared Paralympians, having captured a silver medal at the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris. He is also one of only 2 Tobagonians selected to represent the country at the 23rd Commonwealth Games, which began on July 24th and conclude on August 2nd. The 39th edition of the Tobago Heritage Festival comes to a close on Saturday, August 1st, with a grand parade and cultural showcase at James Park in Scarborough. The event, which begins at 5 p.m., will also usher in this year's Emancipation Day celebrations, while the curtain falls on the festival under the theme, Let We Tell the Whole Story. Cultural Officer 2, the Division of Tourism, Antiquities and Creative Industries, Jesse Taylor, says the story does not end there. Instead, he says the festival's message and cultural legacy will continue to inspire future generations.
Which says a lot about the way we feel about the breaking colonial barriers and moving from a place where we were once enslaved and now actually we are free, emancipated, and have liberty to do some of the things we once could only dream of. And so that in the truth, emancipation is really our gateway to freedom and to remove obstacles, ensure that we aspire to those things and maybe align them with what is probably our national watchwords and how we feel about our creed and how we feel about our island and our country.
Taylor says Trinidad and Tobago remains the only Caribbean island to date to elevate Emancipation Day to the status of a national and public holiday.
Personally, I feel that it allows me the opportunity to, live my truths, to be able to live in a country where you can see the dismantling of things that once were considered oppressive and brutal, things that our ancestors had to go through, that we today can now benefit from the fruits of those trees. And that to me is a glorious thing. So God bless emancipation.
The cultural officer says while the Tobago Heritage Festival reflects aspects of the island's colonial past, its reenactments serve as an important reminder of that history. He says they help connect present and future generations to their roots, allowing culture, identity, and creativity to flourish from those shared experiences. Taylor says the festival will culminate with a vibrant street parade through Scarborough on Saturday, leading into a grand cultural showcase at James Park. The parade begins at 5 p.m., while the cultural show gets underway at 7:30 p.m. The weather when we return.
This Emancipation Day, we invite you to experience history, not through books, but through people, performance, and storytelling. From chains to celebration, on August 1st, experience the grand finale of the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. The journey begins at James Park from 5 p.m. as we parade through the streets of Scarborough, culminating at the Milford Road Esplanade. Be part of the journey. Join us for the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026 Emancipation Day Parade.
Tobago Channel 5's Facebook or Instagram pages lately? Well, check them out now for all the interviews and up-to-date news. Remember to like, share and follow for Tobago news and current affairs information at your fingertips.
Welcome back to news here on Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM. Here's your weather for Friday, July 31st, 2026. Tonight, a tropical wave, partly cloudy to cloudy, slightly hazy and at times breezy with scattered showers, periods of rain. There is also the medium chance of a fewer heavier showers and or the isolated thunderstorm during morning. Conditions should gradually settle during afternoon to give a generally fair night despite the isolated lingering shower. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding may occur in near heavier showers or thunderstorms. Tomorrow, a few showery spells favoring the early morning period will interrupt mostly fair, hazy and breezy windy conditions. There remains a low chance of the odd thunderstorm. Sees a slight to moderate winds at east-southeast to south-southeast 5 to 40 kilometers per hour. Waves in open waters 1 to 1.5 meters. In sheltered areas near 1 meter. High tides at 5:01 a.m. and 5:37 p.m. Low tides 11:29 a.m. and 11:31 p.m. Sunrise at 5:51 a.m. and sunset at 6:27 p.m. Tomorrow's temperatures should reach a maximum of 31 degrees and fall to 25 degrees Celsius. Before we go, let's recap the headlines now. 2 poachers held in Lambo. Kiara Bailey is Miss Tobago Heritage Personality 2026. And Tobago's Akim Stewart bags the bronze. And that's the news here on Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM. Have a great weekend and a good night. Stay safe.
This Emancipation Day, we invite you to experience history, not through books, but through people, performance, and storytelling. From chains to celebration, on August 1st, experience the grand finale of the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. The journey begins at James Park from 5 p.m. as we parade through the streets of Scarborough, culminating at the Milford Road Esplanade. Be part of the journey. Join us for the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026 Emancipation Day Parade.